Hello, I'm Lord Jimsicle and you're watching a You Have Issues special. Tonight I decided to give myself the night off and let Chris delve further into the publication history of Captain Marvel. Anyway, don't let me undersell it. Enjoy.
Thank you, James. And welcome to this follow-up episode of You Have Issues Issue 6, where we're looking at the recent changes to Captain Marvel. And if you haven't seen that yet, check it out here. In this video, I will be taking a look at all the Captain Marvel series that DC have done since taking over in the 70s. So Golden Age fanboys, I'm sorry, I'm just not looking at that era today. Okay, let's start off with the 70s. And the title is simply known as Shazam. This series reintroduces Captain Marvel and Billy Batson back into the world of comics. Straight away in the first issue, they try and explain his 20 years of absence by having him stuck in a time vortex, along with the other Marvels and the Savannas, until finally being released back into the 70s. This is the first Captain Marvel series that DC published after gaining the rights, but it's not set in the rest of the DC continuity, although it does have Lex Luthor being zapped into one of the Shazam issues. This is because Captain Marvel and Co. apparently resided on Earth S. This series is light-hearted, which made a refreshing change from other comics being released during the Bronze Age, which were getting darker in tone. It's very much a throwback to the Golden Age, even using some of the same creative team that worked on the original Fawcett series. They also contained reprints of classic Marvel adventures, so there was much fun to be had. Shazam, the New Beginning. This is the second DC series, and the first since being integrated into the rest of the DC universe post-Crisis. This was a retelling of his secret origin, giving it a modern twist. Dr. Sivana returns as the villain, but it also reintroduces Black Adam, who hasn't appeared in a comic for 40 years. This was a good attempt at a Shazam title, but there wouldn't be another one for 8 years, which eventually made this non-canon. The Power of Shazam. This series came about after a retelling of Captain Marvel's origin in the graphic novel Power of Shazam in 1994. It was a hit and warranted an ongoing series, which remains to this day the only Captain Marvel ongoing series set in the DC universe. This series was set in Fawcett City, a fictional city that Captain Marvel operates in, which is clearly a homage to Fawcett Comics. This brought back many characters from Fawcett Comics into DC continuity, most notably for having the first appearances of Mary Marvel and Captain Marvel Jr. post-Crisis. The great thing about this series is it celebrates Fawcett Comics, with recurring roles from various Fawcett superheroes such as Spy Smasher, Ibis the Invincible, Minuteman, and Bulletman. A lot of old villains from the Golden Age are updated for the present day, taking a more serious tone and look. Other superheroes make appearances, and there are team-ups with the likes of Batman, Superman, Starman, and Plastic Man. One bit I found quite disturbing was the scene where Batman turned up to Fawcett to ask Billy for help. He approaches Billy in the dark alleyway behind his school while he's eating lunch alone. I'm sorry, but this just doesn't look right. Maybe that sort of stuff goes on all the time in Gotham, but it's just not cool here in Fawcett, Brucey. Another funny element is the way women are always coming on to him, not knowing that he's really just 10 years old. This shows some really awkward moments, which always leaves Billy blushing. This is by far the best Shazam series, and my personal favourite, which is down to great storytelling. I had a blast reading all 47 of them. I got through them in record timing. I just couldn't put them down. Superman and Shazam, First Thunder. This is a team-up mini-series which retells the first encounter between Captain Marvel and Superman. This has also been loosely adapted into an animated short film where Dr. Sivana has been replaced with Black Adam. I think this series has a really nice ending, which reminds me just why these two are such great heroes. But I won't ruin the ending. You just have to read it yourself and wipe your own tears away. And now we're going to move on to one of the more recent ones, The Trials of Shazam. Freddy has to travel the world and visit the 6 gods that make up the acronym Shazam. And he has to undergo 6 trials in order to become the new Captain Marvel. I particularly like this series as it focuses on Freddy. He's a favourite of mine, and it's great to see him in the spotlight for once. Billy has now taken over the role of the wizard Shazam, going by the name Marvel now, dropping the captain from the title. He's got himself a new white costume now, and long white hair to match. At this same time, Mary and Freddy end up losing their powers. Freddy is set to become just a regular person again when he is approached and told that he can become the new Captain Marvel. But an evil society won the powers for their champion, Sabina. Freddy sure has his work cut out for him, and a race for the power ensues. Shazam! Monster Society of Evil. This is a miniseries that took a more traditional take on the character and isn't set in the DC universe. It's a good little series, but it's probably my least favourite of the bunch. Billy Batson and the Magic of Shazam. This was an ongoing series for Johnny DC, an all-ages imprint, and carries on from Monster Society of Evil. It's more kid-friendly, but adults can appreciate it too. It's cartoony, colourful, and has less detail. In this, Black Adam's alter ego is a child, just like Billy, though an evil one. It's an easy read, and it's lots of fun. Recently we've had a Power of Shazam Resurrection issue, which is part of Black's Night, and a Shazam one-shot. Well, that's Captain Marvel's publication history covered. And I'm not going to be covering the Curse of Shazam, because you already know our opinion on that. Thanks for watching this You Have Issues special. I'm Chris, and you'll be seeing more specials from me in the future, but until then, you're just going to have to put up with Lord Jimsicle. Before I go, here's last week's fill in the blanks. And here's this week's one.